Okay, Dawn had a question, shockingly, about peonies and when could they be invited. So I went and found a peony expert sitting right next to me.
Here we go. When can peonies be divided? Fall is the absolute best time to move, to transplant, to divide any of your peonies. So late September in through October, and really you can do it all the way up until the ground freezes.
Until you can dig the ground.
Exactly. When you can't dig anymore, then you can't divide peonies anymore. But I like to wait until there's at least about 12 stems before that peony bush can be divided. And when you're digging it up, you want to dig up the whole plant, rinse off the soil, and then you'll see on there little pink or white buds.
The eyes.
The eyes. Those are next year's shoots and next year's flowers. So you want to make sure you have at least 3 of those on the new plant.
And not planting them too deep.
Not planting them too deep. Here in Minnesota, we plant them about 1.5 to 2 inches below the surface of the soil. And those pink and red eyes, those should be pointed up.
And they're called eyes. So if you don't do that, they come up blind, which means they'll green, but they won't flower.
Right.
She does know her stuff though, don't she?
Next question. Janet's got a question about mulch. Can she lay new over old when it's wet? What's going on?
It's an eagle.
Pretty.
Okay, what was that? No, mulch. Okay. You can put mulch on top of anything, on top of any other mulch. But here's the deal. It should never, ever be more than 4 inches deep. If you start getting 5, 6, 7 inches of mulch, just because you figure you have to put mulch down, underneath that it gets moldy and wet and disgusting, and it really does more harm than good. If you have 4 inches of mulch and you're like, well, it's gray, I need to throw something on top, just rake it, and what you bring up that's been protected from the sun will give you a nice, beautiful mulch color. And you can do that a couple of times during the year if it bothers you that your mulch is turning gray. But remember, no more ever than 4 inches of mulch in your garden. So there.
You're passionate about that.
It drives me crazy, crazy. And make a volcano around your trees so that it doesn't go around the bark.
Right, yeah, if you're mulching around your trees, you need some space in there so the mulch isn't right up against the trunk.
Yep. Our next question comes from Melody. Anyone else having mushroom issue in their containers? It's not even one kind. I have only watered a couple times.
Well, watering is good. You got to water your plants.
You got to water your plants.
And there's in your potting soil, whatever kind you use, there were some fungal spores, some mushroom spores.
Decaying material.
Decaying material. All that is good. That's part of a healthy soil environment. Microbes and fungi do so much good for your plants. So pick them out. Dispose of them.
Or leave them. It's not a big deal.
There's still going to be plenty of the fungi organism below the level of the soil. You're never going to get rid of it. If it bothers you, you can pick off the top of them, but they're not a bad thing.
They're actually, like you said, a really, really good thing. It means your soil is healthy. So enjoy your mushrooms.
Don't eat them though, please.
And this is from Kristen. Help! All 3 of my angel 9-bark bushes have powdery mildew. How do I get rid of it?
Powdery mildew is such a common problem, especially with the rainy spring that we've had, and we haven't had that really big heat yet either. So it's been wet and damp for certain. What I love as a treatment for powdery mildew is a copper fungicide, an organic copper fungicide. With that, you're going to want to, according to the package instructions, but spray the top sides and the bottom sides of the leaves. So it can be on a big 9-bark, that can be quite the challenge. But that's how you're going to have to treat it this year. The good news about powdery mildew, it's not going to harm your plant.
No,
it's not going to kill it in any way. It's just very unsightly, and it can make the leaves drop off eventually. But you do want to get it out of control before it starts spreading to other plants. Get it under control.
Well, and the other thing is there is a formula, DIY, with milk that you can find.
Whole milk. You have to use
whole milk because it's got the cultures in it.
Yes.
And you mix whole milk up with water. It's as simple as it is.
Kind of like 2 parts water to 1 part milk.
Right, and a couple of drops of some sort of dish liquid, like a Dawn or something, and it does work. It was proven that in Philadelphia.
Yep, so that's your DIY method. But you're going to want to spray that regularly every 7 to 14 days, more often if you get a heavy rain.
If it rains.
Yep, absolutely. It's kind of a big problem to tackle, but you do want to get it under control as soon as you can.
One more thing, air movement. Your plants being crowded will cause more powdery mildew than if they have space to grow.
Next question. Betty is asking for some tree help. I need your wisdom. Silver maple tree, no, with no whirligigs this year. It's an 80-year-old tree, so it's a good one.
Yeah, well, it seems a lot of people have had that issue, and everybody's getting nervous. No reason to get nervous. We had an amazing amount. It was like a mass year last year of so many. When we go through droughts and stuff like that, they make so much more whirligigs. This year, they kind of took the season off. Things were fine. They produced to reproduce new plants and new trees. This year, there's very few, if any. So the answer to your question is, congratulations, you'll have to clean them up.
Right, you won't have tons of
Why
tiny
are you
little
complaining
trees
about
growing
that?
in your yard and your gardens. You know, this reminds me of like Harrelson apples.
Right.
Very prone to do just a huge year of apples one year, and then
next
very
year,
few or none
right.
the next year. Same kind of dealio. Nature can do wonderful
Nature,
things.
it don't need us.
Right.
We've told them that many times. Don't need me and you.
Well, if you are not part of our Facebook page yet, we encourage you to join. And if you are, awesome. We love having you there. Ask your questions on our Facebook page. We will answer some of them. Other members certainly can answer them because there's a lot of garden knowledge out there. And you guys are certainly a part of that. So we thank you for being there.
Thank you guys for being part of the 90,000
Wow, that's amazing.
that's involved.